What's going on, guys? Got another AMC update for y'all here today. Before we get started, remember, I am not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. So do what you please with this information, but remember, it is for educational purposes only. Do me a favor and give this video a quick thumbs up, share, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any future AMC or stock market updates. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. If we go ahead and look at the price action from yesterday, we did see that we went down all the way, got rejected by that 38.60 area, and trended all the way down, barely even fighting the resistance down to 36.22, just below that support of 36.50, bouncing off, trending back up, and now we are in the pre-market hours very, very close to that 37 mark at 36.97. So that would be nice to see this continuous trend up, break above 37, and see a bullish day. Let's go ahead and get into some of this information. S3 reporting a 100 out of 100 short squeeze score. Short interest is back over 20%, and most importantly, shorts still have not covered I ain't leaving. So what they basically do is this website will give each stock a short squeeze score based on if it's guaranteed to short squeeze or not. So 100 out of 100, a perfect short squeeze score is insane. That means they have full faith, no doubt that this thing will 100% squeeze. Ortex reporting BS AMC short interest because there ain't no way it dropped close to 3% last week with this stuff going on. If other stocks are going 40 to 50% short interest, there's no way that AMC isn't at least quadruple that. Math doesn't add up, demanding an official share count. Now we do. We absolutely need an official share count because there's no way that there are only 513 million available shares and we own 80% as retail investors, and somehow they are only shorting this 17 to 20%. I just cannot seem to believe that. There are other stocks that I have seen on the market that are being shorted 50% and have nowhere near the same price action as AMC, and I think there is something going on, or either Ortex isn't getting the full information or Ortex is lying. Who knows? Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley sued by shareholders of a Chinese e-commerce company that accused the banks of trading on inside information when unloading the stock they held for Archegos Capital Management. Surprise, surprise, absolutely not surprised here. We see another two shareholders being accused of insider trading and using information to get the upper hand. I'm not surprised at all, and it doesn't even matter who it is because they're all more than likely doing it. Every single one of them are doing it. So I'm just waiting for them to get caught, and these two are on their way for that now. Federal Reserve states Robert Quarles to no longer chair committee on supervision. Reminder, numerous members were caught trading on Federal Reserve purchases. Quarles himself recorded purchases and sales of Union Pacific stock from 2019 and his 2020 disclosure. There's proof out there that they are insider trading, and there's people on the chair of the Federal Reserve that are doing this. The people that are supposed to protect us, protect our money, protect our trading systems, and they are doing what we are not supposed to do. If we did this, we would be going to jail and paying hefty fines. They just get kicked off the chair committee. There needs to be some consequences here. Insider trading is very illegal, and it needs to have consequences for the 1% just as it does for the 99%. Another breaking news, president of the Dallas Fed, Robert Kaplan, held stakes over $1 million each in 27 investments and moved in and out of S&P 500 futures. It appears the Fed itself may have been complicit in hiding his trades, where they continued to decline to fully disclose his trading. If you are not doing anything illegal, why would you decline to disclose your trading? You should be an open book if all of your trading is legal. And I believe it is not. I mean, there's a 99.99% chance that all of this is illegal, that they are doing this off of insider trading, and we've known that, and this coming out doesn't surprise me at all. I want to see some consequences here because we have yet to see that. Today closed with the lowest volume of the year so far. Interesting. If you go ahead and look all the way down here at the very end right here, it is low. And it hasn't been this low since about April, when it was low a couple times, and in February, but even then it was a little bit higher than it is now. That is something interesting to look at. When volume is affected, that means something might be coming. The defense have until October 14th, so tomorrow, Thursday, to respond to injunction to stop trading AMC and GME in the dark pool until accurate share count is done, then 7 days to file a reply if the judge grants injunction. So there's a chance we could see the real price of AMC and GME for the first time ever. If they have to stop trading in the dark pool and you take back that 60 to 70% of volume going into the dark pool, this thing will gamma squeeze like we haven't seen in a while. And I believe this thing could go way over our all-time high, and then it could in turn trigger the short squeeze, because once that gamma squeezes and it goes up to highs that we haven't seen before, they're not going to be able to continue to short this stock. They aren't going to be able to do anything because the volume will no longer be able to be pushed into the dark pool, and they will just have to face the facts that this thing is going to short squeeze. That is something big to look forward to going into the end of this week and the start of next week. That could have some very huge effects on the stock. Hopefully we see something good come out of this. Jerome Powell has a net worth upwards of $55 million. $11.6 million is invested in BlackRock. BlackRock is managing the purchases of the Fed's bond buying program that keeps interest rates low, drives inflation, and enriches the 1%. This is a huge, major conflict of interest, and they continue to let it happen. It's just, it really irritates me that there are no consequences for any of these things that they're doing. We find all this information on a daily basis, and when have you ever seen somebody get arrested? Have you seen anybody get arrested or anybody go to jail or anybody face any fines yet? No. We need to keep pushing for that. We need to keep pushing for those consequences. If we are on Twitter and we're trending hashtags and we're putting all this information out and people are seeing this, they're gonna have to do something. They can't just ignore the public, they can't ignore the American people, and they can't ignore the retail investors forever. They have to do something eventually, and we will see these consequences eventually. Hopefully they will be actual consequences and not some stupid petty fine that they're going to treat like a speeding ticket. AMC, the stock market is filled with overbought garbage and underbought gems. Fundamentals don't matter. The stock market is an elaborate Ponzi scheme filled with pump and dumps. Hedges choose what's valuable and what's not. If AMC was debt-free tomorrow, they'd still continue to short. This isn't about the stock anymore. It's about class welfare at this point, and always has been. The stock is going to do whatever they want it to do because they're going to manipulate it. So it doesn't matter how many good things come out about AMC, all this record-breaking money and ticket sales and box office numbers. Doesn't matter when it comes to the stock, because when it does that, they're just going to short it even more because they don't want it to take off. 69.25% of 25 million AMC share volume went through the dark pools yesterday, and that is very high. Only 30% of the volume is actually being traded on the market, and that is insane. Imagine that amount of volume, buying pressure, being put on the market, what that would do for us. Can you imagine the heights this would reach based off of that, just off of one day of 0% going through the dark pools and just pure buying pressure? This thing would take off to heights we can't even imagine. Breaking, as per Reuters, Evergrande could be formally declared in default October 18th and 19th. It is pretty much official. Evergrande is on the last string, holding on for dear life, but that string is about to break. They have only another few days before they will be defaulted, and they will be done for. Last thing before we go ahead and get into the price predictions for today, the likely truth behind iceberg research and the new Ortex data. Short interest, I've seen enough FUD out there and people questioning it. I want to put this to rest. It is not a coincidence both these things happened at the same time. Iceberg could have covered a week ago if they really had. Look at the shares on loan data. It has barely moved while SI has dropped. This makes no sense unless someone borrowed shares and did not short them. So they could have borrowed these shares and they could just be sitting on them and not shorting them yet because they want the short interest to go down so that they can't be caught for having a very high short interest. Everyone knows how this works. So if it's just over 17% now, but it already has been over 17% for a while now, and was barely over 20%, someone borrowed shares to increase the estimated short interest but never shorted them. Then the day before the short interest is reported, some fake company called Iceberg Research announces they've closed a short position that they've probably never even had because this company isn't a real company. They have one employee. It's not real. If you look it up, the company's not real. The new short interest figure comes out and makes it look like it's dropped from 20 to 17 the day after they supposedly covered, but we saw no price action, no return shares, no volume. We had a volume spike a few days ago with that tiny little run up to 39, but if that was when iceberg covered, then their short position had to have been absolutely minuscule, and there's no way it would have dropped the SI 3% and have no price action. What we are seeing here is someone borrowing to run the estimated short interest up to make it look like iceberg dropped it to 17 when they didn't. They want to get us excited. They want us to think that the shorts are covering, and if we think this thing goes down 3% and it's only going to go up $3, then a lot of people are going to give up. But that is not the case. We already figured it out. We already know it's FUD. It didn't take long for us to see past the fake information. Now let's go ahead and get into the price action for today. We do see this trend up. I do see us going and testing that 37 level. And based off of that, we could have a red day if we get rejected. And if we are able to hold above that, we could see this thing shoot back up close to 40. I'd love to see us trending toward 40 again. And even 38.50 resistance, that 38.50, 38.60 that we get rejected by here, going back up and retesting that for the day. Just be ready for any type of price action, any type of volatility, and any type of news coming out. Don't pay attention to the FUD, and keep tuning into all these YouTubers that you watch, because they're going to give it to you truthfully and non-biased. We all just want to help each other out here. We're all apes. We're all family. But if y'all got any questions, let me know. Like this for me, share it, and join the free Discord in the description below. And until next time, peace.